I have to say, it's a lot of fun for you to send me photographs of your landscape and for us to look at it and come up with some ideas that might improve it. Now today we have an interesting case where Vicky, who lives in Minneapolis, has just inherited a farmhouse in Wisconsin, and it's really charming. Now you can see this house is set in a rural landscape, which is really very beautiful and green. Vicky tells me that she loves peonies and roses, she loves a cottage garden style, and she likes native perennials. And what I would say with this classic farmhouse from maybe 1900 to 1920, I think she's got the perfect setup for a cottage garden. It's really quite charming. Okay, the first thing I would do, Vicky, is think about sort of reorganizing the front. We've got a broad view here, so I can show you. You see, these arborvitae have gotten so large here in front of the house. So I think you may want to take those away because they're dwarfing the scale of the house. So that would be something I would think about doing immediately. There are companies that can move these trees. Those are magnificent and they could be used in the landscape over here to frame the side. If you can transplant them without altering the foundation of your house and without great expense, then I would try to save them. Otherwise, they probably need to go. We'll talk a moment about a substitution. This tree looks like, it's a little hard to tell, but it looks like a honey locust. And what I would tend to do is at least take off this limb and this limb and this limb and really raise the shades, if you will, to give this more of an open and expansive look. And then here, I'll just use a different color so we can see it. Here it looks like there's a martin box that could be restored. And it looks just sort of randomly placed here in the landscape. So if you can imagine us raising the shades here where you can see all up underneath this tree up to something like that, where you can see that landscape beyond. These are gone and these are gone. And the martin box gets shifted over. Then you open it up and you can really see this classic American cottage. And by the way, I'm crazy about the standing seam roof, and that color of green is really soft and beautiful. So with that said, let's take a closer look at this area over here and think about that cottage garden. So from here we get a little better view of the porch. And what I'd like to suggest, Vicky, is that looks like probably in the 1950s the post was removed and this wrought iron fencing was put in, or the rail around the porch. What I'd like to see you do is come back and restore the wood posts across the front of the house like that. If you want to leave the railing, you can. I would paint it a really dark green. Whatever the shutter color is here, it looks like it's black, but a dark green or green that would work with this green would be a little more harmonic. We talked about taking down these and getting the scale of this much more sort of low like this. And I'm seeing maybe a mounding U here. So let me just take away this red to avoid any confusion. So let's pretend like those big arborvitaes are gone. And then as a foundation planting, you could do a spirea. A little pink flowering spirea would be quite beautiful. And then here on this corner, you could plant something like limelight hydrangea, which blooms beautifully in the summer. It would be creamy white against the house. It would be a lovely combination. Now, what I'd like for you to think about for this garden, right now I see a little small round garden here. Why don't we eliminate that and think about coming out from the house, perhaps here, with a fence. We'll come out like this. You talked about wanting these perennials and bring the fence along here, and then another fence here. We actually have a cottage garden with a gate here and a path that would come across, and underplant this with fern, all under here with fern along the foundation. And I would lay some stones here and have another gate coming out onto this side that could come around to the front of the house like that. This could be a picket fence that comes all the way around out to the edge. On this back side over here, I would think about a flowering crabapple. They do so well in your part of the world. And you could even come up here to the front and place a crabapple here. Within this garden, now you have a contained area where you could come in and create a bed. It does like this with a green lawn in the center. And in this space around here, Vicky, is where you could fill it with all kinds of those old-fashioned perennials that you love. This would be a classic place for roses to spill over the fence. This would be a great place for peonies, grouping them 5 and 6 clumps together. So big groups of peonies, perhaps in each corner, like that. Fill it with roses, iris, phlox, so many of those great old-fashioned plants. And then also consider some of the native perennials that you like so much, such as rudbeckia, black-eyed Susans in other words, or purple coneflowers are excellent. And then there's so many beautiful ornamental grasses that would be fabulous in this contained garden. You keep your path from the back door all the way over to the garage entry, but this just becomes a little garden room off to the side. Charming place, Vicky. Good luck with it. And tell your friends about subscribing to ehowhome.